Welcome. Oh my gosh, the worst opening ever. Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community today. We're going to be streaming about the Ayaneo new retro lineup, I guess is what they're kind of calling it, because it's got the retro look to it, even though one of the devices I think is futuristic, but maybe in a retro way. So we're going to be talking about the whole Ayaneo lineup. We're going to be talking about some other game news. And if you have any topic you want me to talk about, drop it in our Discord. Or if you know the title to whatever you want, like let's say an article or something, drop it in here and I'll search for it in Google. So I am starting a little early. So we're going to talk with chat for a little bit until we get into this. Welcome, Wolf. How you doing? You doing good, Wolf? I know I am doing pretty decent. I am... Crap. Okay. Gotta rearrange my windows and stuff. I got a video out today, so that is always a good, Wolf. It's actually on one of my favorite parts of the Ayaneo, and I've said this time and time again. I think Ayaneo has got the leg up on a lot of these companies. I think GBD, 1X Player, and Ein are I think they're struggling compared to Ayaneo. The problem with Ayaneo is that they release so many devices. But once again, like I've mentioned this multiple times, they, I believe, have another audience too. These companies, the reason why they still they're able to still exist and all that is they probably sell third party, meaning they have resellers in China that sell these devices. So they're surviving because China has an amazingly big economy, and there's billions of people there, right? So there's a lot going on with that. Cool, sir. Really, any topic we want, and you'll Google. Yeah, cool, sir. I mean, obviously, any topic you want doesn't mean I'm going to do it, though. So you can do any topic you want. That does not mean I am going to do it, though. So the Ayaneo has caught my eye again. Let's say, I think they've had some of the best designed product. I think 1X Player had the most innovative up until more recently, and I really like. And I will say this, and maybe I'm becoming a different person because I used to not be aesthetically like with Apple being like, oh, all marketing and things have to be fancy and all that. Like that stuff catches me a little bit more nowadays than it used to, depending on what it is. It really does depend on what it is. Ease of use is probably the number one thing I look for in a lot of products, unless I'm tinkering with it or like. The Steam Deck is amazing, but I still like having the Ayaneo, or not the Ayaneo, but the ROG Ally for the stuff I can't get, right? So, Wolf, well, let's pump that up so you're doing better than okay. And Kultzer, I hope you're doing good. Okay, so it is 8 o'clock. Let's get into this. This is a topic, and I always forget this. But this audience likes other I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like just okay, cool, sir. Well, you need to amp that up and be better, I guess. Not be better, but do better. It's more or less just well wishes. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Wolf. Once I get through what I have up here, we'll get to yours. I did release a video, like I mentioned earlier, on this eGPU that I think is really sick. I actually really like the way this looks. I'm not usually one for aesthetics, but I want things to look better. I want things to look... I feel like, especially with a lot of computer designs, accessories, whatever it is, we've lost some aesthetics to it, right? And so as long as there's some meaning to the aesthetic, which I think this has some meaning to it, I like it. So I want to see the eGPUs more like this. So yeah, let's see. Let me. So this is an interesting topic, and I know eGPUs and like this type of topic, the community sometimes is wishy-washy on. It just depends on what it is with this type of stuff. But I do like to cover portable. I like to cover everything pretty much when it comes to gaming, but that's PC more PC related than anything. But I'll cover other things. Okay, so guys, let's jump into this and kind of just see what's going on, because this kind of came out of nowhere. On the 18th, so 4 days ago, Ayaneo announced the remake product. Yeah, the Ayaneo remake product sharing session. It's just essentially remake brand that is retro based. So yeah, the highly anticipated Ayaneo remake product launch event officially began. Ayaneo CEO Arthur brought multiple surprises to retro gaming enthusiasts, including the vertical handheld pocket DMG, abbreviation for damage, in a case. The horizontal handheld pocket micro, the Starship Graphics dock AG01, the mini PC retro, and the mini PC AMOS AM01S, and the Air 1S 8840, which is interesting. I think that's the newest line is the 8000 series. So it's the Air is getting a refresh, right? Unless it's the 9000 series. I think it's the 8000 series is the newest one out. So presenting Splendid Retro Cultural Feast for the players. And you can already see there's a lot of weird products here. I first looked at this. I was like, what the what are they doing with this lineup? I wasn't sure. And so I'm going to restart chat here just to make sure. Okay. So the retro sentiments are deeply rooted in Ayaneo brand's DNA, leading to the creation of the Ayaneo remake, which is weird. Ayaneo has not been around that long. It's a lot of this is marketing jargon. I don't know where they're actually going with this, unless they have like an old company that they used to be, and then they reinvented into what Ayaneo is now. But I could be mistaken, but I think they're a newer company in the past 5 years. After introducing the Ayaneo slide with a sliding full keyboard, the retro mini PC dual screen flip handheld Ayaneo Flip DS, and which is also, that one's a really cool handheld if you've not seen that yet. It's the one that flips up like a DS. I do think Ayaneo, they have too many SKUs, I'll be honest, but they have a lot of options, which I do like. So, yeah, the Ayaneo Damage right here is one I am very interested in. It's powered by the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 gaming platform. A big surprise for retro gamers. It's the Snapdragon. So it is an ARM device. It's essentially, it's an Android. You can think of this as an Android device or Android emulator, but it is not your typical, it's not a typical handheld, right? It's the Game Boy Advance, or the Game Boy, old Game Boy style. And so I have to admit, what they're talking, like, Ayaneos have always been elegant and practical. So some of their jargon, marketing jargon, I'm not here for, and some of it I'm like definitely here for. It has which is weird. So this right here, if we go scroll down, this right here, this portion, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Oh yeah, you can see my mouse. But this portion right next to the joystick is a touchpad. So they have a joystick, a touchpad. I wonder how comfortable it is. It's got to be comfortable. They've got to have tested that. It just doesn't look like it'd be comfortable. It seems to offer a lot of different capabilities for like, this is something I would honestly potentially buy to put in my pocket and when going I would buy this just to force myself to do emulated games, like my old games, some games that I still want to play or beat, because I still have PlayStation games. I still have old games I want to beat and play in my backlog. I just have, it's long. The further from the release date the game gets of my backlog, the less likely I'm going to get to it. So I'm really interested in this pocket damage, and there's another device too that's like a smaller version um of the Ayaneo Air that we're gonna kind of look at. It's more square, but I like it. This is out of all these like vertical designed handhelds, this is probably my favorite looking one. Like I said, Ayaneo knows how to design. So okay, let's see what everyone is doing. We got some more peeps in the chat. Welcome, Necrosphere. Welcome, Raichi. Finally, a Game Boy Color format console from Ayaneo. Yes, we have a bunch of other ones though. Raichi, like, there's a lot of companies that do this type of design. It's just this is the first one that's really caught my eye. Just because Ayaneo knows how to design a handheld, right? They know how to design hardware. Raichi, there is the new one with the Game Boy Advance SP clone released last week. Yes. There's been to be honest, there's so many not pocket handhelds, but portable handhelds that to follow. It's overwhelming sometimes. That's why, in some ways, I should be covering more. In others, I don't necessarily. I have a hard time following them. Like, I want to make more videos on portable handhelds, but if it's not known enough, they don't do well. And I don't know. It's weird. I shouldn't go after that type of thing, but I usually try to prioritize. I mean, I know that eGPU videos don't do very well, and I did an eGPU video, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, and I love the concept of this eGPU, though. The Retro Pocket is the most perfect, but the Mayu Mini doesn't feel like a Game Boy in my hands. It doesn't or does? Yeah, the Retro Pocket. So, just to show you as an example, yeah, the Retro Pocket I think is the most known one. It is like a DS that flips up, right? DS, is it DS? Like, I think that's like based off like a one of the DSs, right? Types of DS. There's also this right here, the horizontal style. They don't look bad, to be fair. They don't look bad, but this Ayaneo definitely looks pretty good looking, let's say. And I have been meaning to pick, honestly, and I still might pick up one of these. I've been wanting to pick something up like this for a while. What is the CPU again? It's an ARM. Okay, it's an older ARM, quad-core ARM. It probably runs most things fine, right? Up to, I'm assuming PlayStation, probably not much more than PlayStation on. So, like PlayStation 2, maybe, but probably not after that. So, I like the way this looks. This is something I'd need a protector for, but definitely something I'd pick up and carry around. And I love those back bumpers on the back. Be inclusive, not exclusive. I'm not trying to be exclusive, cool, sir. It's just there's only so much stuff I can cover. If people make a big enough fuss about it, then I will pick something up. But I try to pick up stuff that I think is interesting. Necrosphere, this looks like a nice competition for other companies to bring. You're thinking of the Game Boy SP, basically a flip style of Game Boy Advance. You're right. The Game Boy SP, which is the Game Boy Advance. Yep. Not SDS. The DS is dual screen. Yeah. I owned a bunch of those. You'd think I'd remember. So, speaker in the back. Got your bumpers on the sides right here. Plenty of side buttons. Is that a volume button? That looks like an analog volume button. That's crazy if it is. It's an analog. Excuse me. I am a little on the sick side. I know, again. An analog wheel. Oh yeah, look at that. So, to offer an uncompromising screen experience, Ayaneo partnered with a manufacturer to equip the Pocket Damage with a 3.9-inch OLED screen boasting a 1240 by 1080 resolution and 419p. Damn. An OLED screen? I don't even know. I've read through this before. I must have skimmed this part. I must have read up to this, and then just like, okay, it's more marketing jargon. No, that's an OLED. That's crazy. Like I've said, as more and more stuff becomes OLED, it's going to become more mainstream, right? So this is just start expecting more and more things to be OLED. It's going to become cheaper and cheaper, especially for handhelds. For smaller screen devices, OLEDs have been fairly reasonable, like price wise, for a while. So pretty cool that they were able to do that here. I am curious. Do they have? Let's see. I wonder if you could squeeze your fingers in. It's so weird. Such a weird design. I don't like to overthink when I'm playing games, but I'm wondering if you could squeeze your walking in to where you could be walking with the left and then aiming with the right scroll or with the touchpad. I'm wondering if they kind of did that on purpose. That'd kind of cramp your fingers, but that's kind of a curious concept. Now that I'm thinking about it, you might be able to get away with it. You'd have to move up to press buttons to do actions, but I could see that being something that you could potentially play like a lot of different things on this. And I'm assuming this is going to be Android based. I don't see why they would roll out their own operating system at this point. So most likely Android with an Android flavor on top of their own stuff. So welcome, July 26th. The Analog Pocket is never in stock. Raichi. I think you're right on that one. There's a bunch of other ones. 480p OLED should be cheap enough. Yeah, well, OLED once again. I don't know if we have prices for any of these things yet. That's always a question with Ayaneo. Ayaneo always tends to be a little on the pricier side, but it definitely seems like if you want the premium experience of this vertical style handheld, this is the way to go. Coastline design for ergonomic. Interesting. That's what they call it. Coastline. Okay. July 26th. If Ayaneo made a larger OLED Windows handheld 7-inch or larger, I'd immediately buy it. Really? Really? I wouldn't be surprised if they. I think they already might have something. Ayaneo has a huge lineup. And I swear one of their... It might be bigger than that, though. Let's do a little bit of a... We're going to venture off onto the beaten path right now. Let's see. Ayaneo Air Plus. Okay. Sorry, we're gonna... I swear one of their devices already has... Have they? These are old. Have they not been updating? There's the Kun. Is this one released yet? Oh, this one's an IPS. Huh. I thought this was an OLED. I thought this one was... and all, like, everything was... Like, everything in the kitchen sink was in this. But I know the reviews were just okay on it. Still, honestly, a pretty good looking device. I kind of hope that they keep it around and upgrade it and make it just better. Yeah, the Air is OLED typically, but it's not 7-inch, it's 6-inch. 5.5 to 6, depending, I think. So, excuse me. Raichi, I wonder why they couldn't just use an OG Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Shield. Yeah, who knows? Electronic ink display should be interesting. I think the largest OLED they have is 5.5 inches. Oh, you think so? You're probably right. It's probably the Air. I have an Air that's, I think, 5.5. That's an OLED, and I'll be honest, like, it's not a very good OLED. It bleeds too much, meaning it's just too poppy. It needs to be either recalibrated, and people think it's really good, but people sometimes, I think, take vibrancy for quality, and that's not the case. Not the same thing. What if you like the Steam Deck OLED is pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's the best OLED I've seen, but it's definitely pretty solid. Okay. Raichi, the problem with mini handhelds is that they make it with the ergonomics for an orc. And then when the ergonomic is good, the CPU is too weak. Yeah, I agree with that, Raichi. July 26th, them or anyone else doesn't have to be an Ayaneo. I'd get it. Yeah. Why is that over the Steam Deck? The Steam Deck has an OLED. Do you just want to do more Windows gaming then, I'm assuming? Sounds good, Wolf. Okay, Ayaneo Pocket Micro. The high quality IPS true color screen, 4x HD retro gaming experience. This is interesting. So this is the 3.5 inch 960 by 640 screen. It's a minimalistic design, comprehensive breakthrough aesthetics and craftsmanship. Of course, this is all marketing jargon. I'll kind of like, some of it I think is useful, some of it's not to know. This one's also a very interesting device. This is one that's like truly like I feel like this would be a pocketable device. Meaning if I'd be worried about the joysticks getting if there's just a way for it to fold, I would pocket this. Like, the pocket damage probably is more interesting to me to play certain games, but at the same time, this would be pretty interesting too also. I don't know which. So chat, which one do you guys like more? Do you like the damage or the micro more? We might need to see what's more in the. I definitely don't like these top buttons. They look very analog-y, mushy. I'm not a big fan of mushy, rubbery buttons, but they're probably deceptive. They're probably hard plastic, or like a soft hard plastic. The Pocket Micro boasts bezel-less full-screen design from Ayaneo's 2S and Pocket S, offering an unrivaled screen-to-body ratio and immersive gameplay. Cool. It has a CNC aluminum alloy frame. That's actually pretty good. That means it's going to be fairly strong and lightweight. Yeah, the CNC is just how it's cut. It's a precision cut aluminum frame. So when you get the aluminum alloy, it's just mixing like a plastic or some type of it's a hybrid aluminum frame. Typically, MacBooks do it too. It makes it feel metally enough, but it can make it so it's light, strong, and reinforced. So some aluminum can bend a little easier. This helps make it a little bit more reinforced typically. July 26th, already have an LCD deck, but really want a Windows-based handheld. Yeah, I get you on that. It is nice. I will have to say, I was really surprised that the ROG Ally X didn't have an OLED. You think they would have done an OLED, like, to be fair, but they didn't. I think if they would have done an OLED for that price that they have, I think I would have then maybe recommended it. I know that from last week, ASUS came out and apologized. I've heard plenty of people say they've had good experiences with ASUS from the comments. The problem is most likely just a bad, like with the whole ASUS ROG Allies debacle with a YouTuber's thing not getting fixed properly. It was probably sent to a third-party repair service, and it's probably that service that ASUS needs to investigate and potentially oust. It's typically when you get really big, you usually use third-party services like that for your RMA, depending on demand and all that. So I definitely think that just the biggest thing is there's not enough new for the ROG Ally to warrant buying it at this point. Like the Ally X at this point. We'll have to get it in our hands and everything. Raichi, the Helio G99 is nearly good enough for PS2. Oh, really? It's nearly good enough. That's good to know, Raichi. Raichi has a handheld tablet with the Helio G99. The CPU is found on $100 phones. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, PS2. Okay, so for my emulation needs, I want anything that can do Game Boy, not Game Boy, but well, I guess Game Boy, like maybe DS, GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and down. I know Xbox One's probably a big ask, but like that and down is perfect for me. A lot of things like PlayStation 3 and up I'm fine with if it's not, but it would be nice, but it's fine. Guess July 26th. Guests have to see if the Legion Go 2 will have an OLED. ROJ Ally let us down. So the Ally X is not a 2. They're still working on the 2. I guarantee they're going to come out with it either the end of this year or sometime next year. There's some new APU architectures that I'm doing some research on for videos to kind of predict when stuff's going to come out. We'll probably see the 2 come out at the end of the year or probably sometime in July. It seems like that's when ASUS likes to release their devices. As far as the Legion Go 2, I definitely could see them going the route of the OLED, and I definitely could see them refining the whole system. I'm really hopeful for the Legion Go 2 because the Legion Go 1 let me down a little bit, and I think it's just because I wanted an experience like the Steam Deck, but with some extra features, right? Some power features, and they just kind of let me down. Okay, so I think I asked this already, but which one of these would you rather get? The Pocket Micro or the Pocket Damage? 4 times resolution dot by dot full screen without stretching fine. That's an interesting, like, I'm really interested in this one. And actually, okay, yeah, this has got, okay, meanwhile, the Ayaneo Pocket Micro is equipped with the powerful Helio G99 processor. So this means it can probably play up to, like it sounds like a PlayStation level. So PlayStation, Nintendo 64, stuff like that, which honestly, if I can play up to that point, I think I'd be pretty content with this type of device. I'd hope, and I'm pretty sure it would be able to, but the Damage could probably play PlayStation 2, up to PlayStation 2, maybe PlayStation 3. I know those ARM processors are getting pretty, like, those new, like, more the newer ones are getting much better, especially Snapdragons. Kind of interesting though. Outstanding performance, perfect for playing Game Boy Advance games. Yeah, I could see, honestly, yeah, this would be a pretty fun one to play Game Boy Advance. And I have a couple of Game Boy Advance games I definitely would go back and play on this. Out of the 2, which one would I get? It makes it hard because I would want to try both out. And it really comes down to which, like, this one has more features. The Damage does at the like with the touchpad and the joystick. So I definitely would be very interested in trying that out. But I think for pocketability, I'd almost rather have the Micro. Like, it's something that I feel like I would just keep in my left pocket at all times, barring the joysticks don't die on it. This, I think it's nice enough to where I don't know if I'd pocket it without a case. If it has a nice little slide case, like a top slide, they just at least to protect the screen and some other stuff, I'd pocket this too. Depending. Raichi, it's close enough, but you need something stronger. My G99 tablet barely plays PS2 at 0. Yeah, so not even at full resolution. Yeah, no, I wouldn't think the G99 would be able to do that from what you're talking about, but yeah. Cool, sir. Have you seen the Claw is now outperforming the Ally now in 68 games? They probably use Tetris and Pong amongst titles tested. So here's the thing that people forget. Intel is new to this APU. They're not new to the APU game, but they're new to the graphics and really trying to up the graphical prowess of their APUs and their graphics cards, right? What I usually read is the number one issue with Intel APUs and GPUs is the drivers. So they updated the drivers, and I believe they improved the performance up to 30%. And if that's the case, then that cuts the whole bridge between the Intel and AMD for APUs. I'd have to see those numbers, but yeah, cool, sir. I did see that. I do want to do a video on it. I'm trying to gather all my video ideas because I have hundreds of video ideas. It got a little overwhelmed. And I want to start mixing it between news, overviews of like actually talking a little bit deeper about topics, and then I'm going to be doing some list videos and other informative videos that are going to be fun. So Raichi, the Helio G99 is already 3 to 4 years old. Yeah, I've been seeing that APU for a long time. I don't track it very well, obviously, but I've been seeing it for a while. But yeah, up to 4 years old is crazy old. They probably have a certain, this one's got to be like $100 Ayaneo Pocket Micro, I feel like. Let's do some guessing, and I'm probably going to be off by double, in the sense of like double the price, and that's probably what it really is. I think this is going to be $200, maybe $250 for the pocket damage. Well, okay, $250 to $300. I think the pocket damage is going to be that, and then I think the pocket micro will be around 1,000 or 100. But once again, I'm bad at guessing with these types of devices. So, and Ayaneo tends to be a little pricier. You say this Ayaneo is $259? Okay. Not the micro. I don't think the micro would be $259. I feel like the micro is designed to be cheap, like as cheap as Ayaneo can make, which is very intriguing for me. Maybe $150. I don't know if for this type of device, it'd have to be really good, and it's just not seeing it. It'd be a really fun device just to have on hand, just to like. I have a phone. I have a phone. I can get Backbone controller, which I do want to do sometime, and just use that on my phone. Okay, and there's emulators on the iPhone now too, so there you go. Okay. Rachie, we all started gaming with Intel APU at school. Yeah. Intel APUs. Okay, so this is my favorite thing. I did a video recently on this. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this on my video. At one point, once we're done with streaming, if you could do me a huge favor, go over there, thumbs up the video, comment on it, whatever you can, because I know my eGPU videos don't do as well. And it needs some love because I really love it. And it's got Loki's voice in it. I don't have Loki in it. I should have put him in it. I have pictures of Loki in it, my dog, my corgi. So let's continue on. So this one is, I really like this device. Like, I really like, it's stupid. I just like sci-fi though. It's stupid how much I like this device. I won't cover it. We'll cover it enough. I won't cover it as much as I did in my video though. So the Ayaneo Starship Graphics Dock AG01 is a new interpretation of sci-fi romance. It's a sci-fi romance. I'm thinking they were thinking like sci-fi, like a space opera maybe. Like, I don't know where they got the whole sci-fi romance thing about, because I would, and maybe I'm behind on design. Like, you guys can let me know. Am I behind on designs? Design naming, I guess. I don't know. Like, is there like a genre of sci-fi styles that are sci-fi romance? This is kind of weird, I'll be honest. Marketing once again. You can personalize the elements integrated, like this Arthur Zing, who's the CEO of Ayaneo, has it on there. I think that's cool. I don't need that. Apple does the same thing, but at the same time, this is a product. If I got this, it's a collector's item. I'll use it, and if it dies, doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep it. It's going to be on my shelf because I really like the way it looks. I really want us to start going towards, I mean, I'm hoping some of the holes that we see in this and some other stuff is functional. It's not completely a cosmetic, but I really like the design of this. I think it looks slick for an eGPU. I have not seen an eGPU look this good before. I like it. Raichi, this looks like a space truck or ship. Yeah, sure. No problems with that. I love it. It has an RGB light right here. I don't fully understand what it does, but it has enhanced dynamic power. I think you can either control it or you can set it to a feature to how much wattage it uses. I'm so sorry. I've been talking a lot today, so it's killed my voice. Um, the texture, also looking at all the video, all the photos, as long as they're not photoshopping them too much, it definitely looks like it's going to be pretty quality. And I think it's going to be aluminum, or at the very bare minimum, it's going to be metal. It is a metal-based frame. So as long as things are painted on or dipped, or if it's if the metal, some metals, the metal's going to have mixed colors into it. As long as everything's like done well enough, like this is just a collector's item waiting to happen, I think. I don't know what you guys think. Chat, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it, and I like eGPUs. I think the future of portable gaming is going to be eGPU based. I think and I hope Valve fixes their whole. They're going to have to, at the bare minimum. Steam Deck 2 is going to have USB 4 support, so eGPU support. I'm curious if they would add an Oculink into there. The Oculink would be interesting for them to add in on the Steam Deck for VR capabilities, and also eGPU capabilities. It just has some more throughput, right? Has more bandwidth to it, so you'll get that much better performance and latency, which is a big deal with eGPUs, is latency. And the Oculink is just that much better, and that's what this has multiple. Let's scroll down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, I think it's cool. I like it. I'm just tired of things not being like. I want things to be functional, but I'm tired of things looking like a brick. Personally, when they don't have to be. Let's see here, right here. So this is your So I've already read through all this. It's capable to link up to an Oculink, like its input is an Oculink, or its input can be a USB 4. But if you use Oculink, then the USB 4 becomes an output or an input. It just makes it so that you're able to use it with another device. Let's say if you want to hook up a hub, another hub, a mouse, keyboard, whatever, you can hook it up to the USB 4 when you're using Oculink. So there's the plus. And then it has, the 2 display port 2s, the HDMI 2.1s. I'm assuming with this device and AMD, I don't think you'd be able to support up to 4. It depends on the APU and all that, but I think it usually supports between 2 to 3. So I wouldn't plan on being able to hook up 4 monitors to this, but it's pretty cool. Spellgood just came in. How much and when can we purchase this device? I don't know. I don't think they've announced when and how much, but we could look. Let's Raichi, who will watch Hellblade 2? I still need to play Hellblade 1. It's on my backlog. I want to get to Hell. I have it cached on my Steam Deck. And so once I play Hellblade 1, I'll play Hellblade 2. Maybe even on stream. Maybe it means love of sci-fi. Remember in most languages outside of English, the sentence structure is very different. Translation not always correct. Oh, I agree. Like, Ayaneo has had issues with, they need a, I'll be honest. They have done better. They must have a better marketing guy, or they've been using better tooling for their sentences. But yeah, a sci-fi romance is a thing, technically. But yeah, they probably threw it. I'm curious if they threw that into a translator and it's supposed to be the interpretation of the love of sci-fi. But sci-fi romance is kind of a thing. You wouldn't, I don't know. Putting it in like this is weird. As far as we can look it up. We can do a quick, I don't think I found anything though. Let's see here. I bet you it's gonna be similar to other. Let's look for let's do this next thing right here. Oh my gosh, did they disable like text selection on this? Wow, interesting. Okay. Um, so this is already what the 1X GPU is, which I think is, this is just a competitor for it. I think it starts out, interesting that they sell it right here for $643 and only one's been sold. Definitely would be interesting to see. I like this. I like the 1X GPU also. So it's probably going to be less than $1,000. It's probably going to be around $800. If it's selling for, this is a discounted price. It could be for 600. Who knows? But it definitely looks like it's between $600 to $800. So probably expect it to be priced in that similar vein. And then as far as release, I would be surprised if they if this didn't release in the next the next month or two. You got me really curious now on this. Yeah. Say they even say like $699 kind of thing for the 1X player, 1X GPU on Amazon. But it's just there's not a date yet. I think they just announced it. Who knows what they're doing with these things? It should be coming out soon-ish, I would assume, in the next like few months. Don't stream Hellblade. Hellblade is an immersive experience. Raichi. Okay, then I won't stream it. Raichi, the mobile GPU will cost 1.5 kidney. No. The cool thing about this is that if you're a big fan of portable gaming, and as more and more of these portable devices are, because even if you get a Steam Deck 2, this thing is going to beat it in GPU prowess. Like it's going to be better. How much better? We'll see when the new Steam Deck 2 comes out, but it's also a dock too. So if you want to buy this now and then use it with, let's say, an Ally. Oh, you can't use it with the Ally because they prevented that. But with the Legion Go, that's one huge plus for the Legion Go or Ayaneo or all these other devices. You can get this now. Because I really like the Steam Deck 2. They'd have to do some stupid stuff to not include USB 4 in that. Would be compatible with this. In Windows, as far as Linux, might be limited. We'll see. Coulter, Romance of Sci-Fi. The device is for those who love sci-fi, science fiction because of its style. Moving on. Okay. Yes. Okay. All the standard stuff that you'd expect from this mobile graphics card. And that's what this is. Like, there's already a couple of them out there. 1X GPU being one of them. It just looks. I just think it looks so sick, and I want to see more. I just never surprised. I was surprised that Ayaneo did a device like this. They usually do sleek, not complicated designs, and this is a complicated, meaning like there's divots, there's slits, there's stuff that like is for aesthetics only. But I love it. Now, what I'm really shocked that they did, and I thought, and I think they were trying to play off of like a printer or a Mac device, is this thing. Spell good. If you have a need, why not get something that looks cool as well? 100% spell good. But I don't necessarily need this. I want it for a collector's item. So I am going to look into, is this an LCD screen on the top? I didn't notice it. I'm curious. They didn't mention this, but that's looking like it could be an LCD screen. That's really glossy. It could have the temperature in it. But yeah, I'm going to get this for a collector's item. Even if it's like 10 years down the road for like $10 off of whatever, I'd get it because I like the way it looks. I'd put it on my back, my shelf, or just screw around with it. I'd have a lot of fun with it, even then. Welcome back, Wolf. Gabe Newell skipped USB 3. He didn't skip USB 3, right, G? That would be hilarious, though. He would have if he didn't go with the APU, like the older APU set, because the one, like the newest one he could have gone with the Steam Deck would have been USB 4 capable. So he can count to 3. He did not skip USB 3 though. The Steam Deck has USB 3 capabilities. You're getting to my favorite part, Wolf. I love this graphics card. Okay, enough. Ayaneo Retro Mini PC AM01S. Oh my gosh. Chrome it just struggles sometimes. It just froze. The innovative flip screen adjustable for practicality. I don't know if this screen is practical. A multifunctional screen, fun and convenient. If it has good drivers, here's the problem with all these types of devices with this type of screen on a computer. It's got to have good drivers, good functionality. If I can just like display like temps, maybe even like certain messages or whatever, like it becomes useful. Else it gets folded down and I'm just not going to touch it. And it just adds more to the price. Why should I get it? So this is, out of everything they announced, this is probably the thing that I think is going to do. I don't know. eGPUs don't do overly well, but I have a feeling this will do much better than this. But I don't know. Who would buy this? I just don't know who would buy something like this. It has like the retro logo piece to it. Yeah, really, okay. It can tell me the time. Well, I can look down there. I have my watch for the time. It's cool. I just don't know. Like maybe for like my living room, like where I have a TV and I put it right there and I would walk by and I want to see what the time is. Maybe. I just like, this is the one that I was having a hard time understanding, like how this would be useful. So it has an AMD Ryzen 7 or 9, 8845, 8945. I'm assuming that's pretty robust 65 watt dual fan cooling system. Yeah. I'm assuming it's got better power than a typical handheld because of its size and all, but I'm just curious who would be buying this. Has speakers built in. Wait. Oh no. We're getting into the Ayaneo Air one. Yeah. So this is bizarre. This is like, I think they wanted to release like a retro system, or like a retro line, which that's what they did. They released a retro line, and they wanted to include something that was like desktop / console, but not portable console capable. I mean, I'd have fun if they gave me one. I'd have fun with this. I just, there's so many other things I'd rather buy than this. Then you have the Ayaneo Air. Well, let's see. Gabe Newell needs to skip Zen 3. Raichi, oh my gosh, well, that's true. He did skip Zen 3. The GPU in, or the APU in, the CPU and the APU in Steam Deck is a Zen 3 one. Cool, sir. Oh, you're talking to Spellgood. Excuse me. Raichi, AI translation capabilities in the display will show the real-time translation. In this, I'm assuming you're teasing, but yeah, that sure. So the Ayaneo Air 1S 8840U. So it's gonna be pretty powerful for an Air. I don't know why they're calling it an Air, but what is the screen size on this? 5.5. Once again, 5.5. Oh, was the last one an OLED? OLEDs are pretty good from my understanding, but 5.5 1080p, like at 5.5 inch, yeah, I would say 1080p is fine. It's about as max as you're gonna want to go, but it's a 5.5 inch. I have the Air, and I rarely use it because I don't like the screen size. But the APU really is interesting. They Hall sensing joysticks, Hall trigger. Yeah, that's all stuff that's been there forever. It's nothing new to Ayaneo. 2280, they've always been able to fit that 2280 capability in, which is always awesome. And then the fully evolved iSpace 2 would be another interesting one. I've heard good things from the iSpace 2 over the iSpace 1. So I am like, this definitely looks much better than what I have now in the sense of like capabilities, but it's got that 5.5 inch screen. I hate it. I feel like it could be a bezel-less like more too. Like they could have made it bare minimum. They could have made it a 6-inch and it would make more sense to me. But like I've said, I think the Steam Deck needs an 8-inch screen personally. So it's just not something. It's interesting, but it's not something that I would get. This though is, hold up, man, my throat is just dry. So the 3DS emulation on this PC will be amazing. Oh my gosh, the Wii U emulation. There you go, Rachie. That other device is a Wii U emulator. Coulter, why can't we buy both this and the many other things? Because of money. It costs money. You got to choose one thing to save up for. Rachie, I need the Aegean Chronicle 100 Heroes themed console. I don't even know if I said it right. I have not played it. I'm assuming it's good since it's a branded deal. I'm assuming it's a very Chinese. Is it a Chinese like based RPG? I can see that. So the Ayaneo Retro Power Bank. This one, if it clips to the back of my phone, because they have an iPhone right here. If it does the MagSafe, because I have a MagSafe phone. I just took off my wallet. So you see right there, my wallet clips onto the back of that. I love it. So it definitely looks like it potentially has a magnet in this. I would be down to carry my power bank just on my phone around with me. How thick is it? It is a little chunky. My pants can handle that. I just have a little bit of a bulge. So I'd be walking around with 2 bulges in my pants. Maybe a little awkward, but whatever. And yeah, before you guys say otherwise, yeah, it's a banana. Jeez. Yeah, the Retro Bank. I don't even know what these buttons are for. It's a 1200 milliamp battery, which seems... Doesn't that seem kind of small, but... well... Because I think... But it is a small device, meaning it would be able to charge the phone once or twice, right? A couple times. Steam Deck, maybe, if you're lucky, once. J-Bro, that's just a power bank. Yes, this is just a power bank. With the LCD screen, it's got the screen. Like, honestly, it's designed to be a portable power bank for all the devices that you have. With 45 watt power delivered, fast delivery. It's fast delivery. Excuse me. So it'd be able to charge Steam Deck. 45 watts is capable for the Steam Deck. It would not be able to charge the Steam Deck with an accessory attached to it. But the Steam Deck, I think a lot of other devices that are portable should be able to charge it. It's min-spec'd on all that. This is also another interesting thing. It includes a monochrome OLED screen. So it's black and white OLED. So it's crisp. And also, this is going to be very low on the power. But yeah, no, honestly, like, compatible with Windows handheld charging. Well, it'd be compatible with Steam Deck too. But like I said, I'm curious if it has that capability to attach to the back of my phone and charge it. I'd totally be down for something like that. But Yeah, we'll see. This is another one. This one and the eGPU are like on the top of my list of I'm very curious to get. So, um, I wish they really would give us. It's got to be in the next few weeks that they're going to give us more details on all this stuff. But okay, Raichi, they need a device like this with the NVMe extended storage. Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to see something like this. Well, no, I was gonna say an NVMe battery bank mix, but I guess the battery runs out. I mean, the NVMe is fine still. I don't know. It'd be cool to see something like this clip onto the back of like a D brand case. I'd really like that. Cool, sir. I bet banana and pickles would taste good. I watched a short of pickles in Dr. Pepper. Ew. I'm not sure about that, cool, sir. Bananas maybe, but bananas and pickles, I'm sure it tastes okay. Like, it's disgusting, but I'm sure I wouldn't like potentially vomit. Potentially. Okay. We are done with all this Ayaneo stuff. You guys can let me know what you guys think. I think this all looks interesting. It all runs the risk of being too pricey, not like enough functionality to buy something like this over a Steam Deck. The cool thing about the Steam Deck is that you have the Steam Deck and you get the emulators and all that. It's able to emulate up to Switch, Nintendo-wise. It's able to emulate up to, what, PlayStation 3, if I'm not mistaken. Xbox 360, it's able to emulate up to a certain point, more so than all these other things except for the eGPU. The eGPU and the battery bank are the most compatible with what most people probably already have. And then the Pocket Damage and the Pocket Micro are also interesting, I think, for some people that just really want a little bit more portability on the way of going to do stuff. Cool. Wolf. Oh, yeah, the Dr. Pepper and pickle trend. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I'd try it. I don't know, guys. So, I just want to cover real quick a couple of real quick articles. PC Gamer, best handheld gaming PC in 2024. My recommendation for the best portable powerhouse is, my overall one is the Steam Deck. I'm curious what theirs is. Oh, really? The One X Player One X Fly is their #1 choice. That AMD chip is a hero. Screen is bright and crisp, feels good in the one hand. In the hands, lots of ports, quiet. Battery life will always be on your mind. Software is only okay. I'm curious why you would get something like this over the ROG Ally. I mean, it is capable with like an eGPU. This is a very interesting one. I did not expect One X Player to be top dog on this with the One X Fly. I've heard good things about the One X Fly. I did a video on it last year. I never got one because it'd break the bank if I tried to get every one of these devices. But maybe one day I'll actually get them and review them. I don't even think it's an OLED device. That's really bizarre. The Steam Deck, the best budget gaming handheld. Yeah, great price, incredibly versatile, well built, can change the way you game, bulky, battery life, takes work. What? I don't think this is a really good review. It is a little bulky, but I wouldn't say it's that much bulkier than a One X Fly. It is bulkier, though. And battery-wise, I would say this is... If we're talking about the Steam Deck OLED... Do they have the Steam Deck OLED? I don't know when this was written. This is a really weird article. The Steam Deck OLED would probably beat out all these. The Lenovo Legion Go, the best big screen handheld. Yeah, I can see that. With the Ryzen Z1 Extreme. The glorious screen detachable controllers are ace. They're not that great. The detachable part is cool. The controllers themselves, I don't really like. They're really mushy and everything. Awesome for indies, great for gaming at home. Heavy plus big, native resolution, often wasted in games. Yeah. It's a great device. It really is. Like, I had so many issues with it. I just couldn't recommend it. I'm really curious about what they're going to do with the new one. I'm also tested, yeah. All these other ones. This is so weird. Very interesting list. Huh. Yeah, interesting. Definitely don't agree with this list. Half the stuff on this list I'm not agreeing with. Cool. Cool. So with the Pepper and pickle, I swear that could have been a trend like 20 years ago. There's been plenty of trends like that over the years. Okay. We already went over technically the one thing I wanted to go over, which was the MSI claw. Um, so this is an interesting one. So after Helldivers 2, huge success, Arrowhead wants to be the next Blizzard or From Software. From Software is, I don't think, on a trend of self-destruction, but Blizzard is. That's a weird thing. So that means that Helldivers 2 is probably going to grow up or grow out and become different IPs. I can see them doing that. But I think Arrowhead's CEO just stepped down like a couple days ago. So I don't know what's going on there. I swear the CEO or someone big stepped down from this a couple days ago. It's just, do you guys think that's a good thing to strive for, is to be the next Blizzard? I think they, in theory, they'd want to, but Blizzard was a very narrative and world building company, meaning they built worlds that were interesting to be in, right? I would definitely not. I would say Helldivers 2 is kind of that. At the same time, not though. So it's weird to see if this would actually take on. Really interesting on that. Interested in if that would actually succeed or not. Because they're going to be ambitious. They're going to burn through a lot of money if they're going to be trying to be like, From Software is a little bit more reserved with the releases, but like Blizzard is not. And so we'll see. We'll see. Let me check to see what Wolf has got here. Wait, where'd you throw out the... Wolf, did you say you posted some stuff? I'm not seeing it. Oh well. You can let me know, Wolf, if you posted some links in Discord, and I'll click it, but I don't see it. Okay. Wolf, yeah, there's also a trend mixing mayo with milk. Gross, because some come out all chunky. So I think there are some recipes where you mix a little bit of milk into mayo and some other stuff, but you could probably wouldn't be that big a deal. But yeah, it doesn't. Thinking about it, it sounds gross. But I think some people also think fry sauce is gross. It's just ketchup and mayo mixed together, and that's a huge thing here in Utah. Okay, before my throat just dies altogether, we might actually have to end this one now. So unless I have anything, and is there anything else you guys want to cover today? I just don't know if there's anything else to cover that I'll also be covering this week too. Mio the drink man. Oh, Mio with milk. Ew. Yeah, Mio with milk sounds gross. Unless it's strawberry, right? Maybe. Still sounds gross. So that is all I have for today. Other stuff to keep out. I've been getting back into gamesreveal.com. I'm going to have that newsletter back up. So if you have not signed up for the newsletter yet, I'm going to try to make sure that like people that subscribe to everything get everything. And then people that subscribe to the newsletter itself will get the newsletter. The newsletter is going to be back in with game giveaway keys at the bottom for, I think there's one for free subscribers and one for paid. An extra chance to get a free one or get one if you're paid. The newsletter, and it's just going to be it's going to be articles that either I have written or whoever's written over at gamesreveal.com, over the week, or it's going to also it's also going to include articles from other places where we just couldn't, because there's just too much game news to cover, too much game stuff to cover, too much things that are interesting to cover. I'm going to try to balance things out. I've been doing a lot of news, but I want to balance also things with interesting subjects that are not news necessarily bound, but are interesting. Steam Deck, games related, and all that. So I'll be starting to do some different types of videos over the next few weeks, and then I will also release something for you guys to and see if I'm reading Rachel's thing, and do like a survey and just see what people want. So that customer for you. Welcome. We're about to end this. But Rachie, a crazy dude in X decided to see the internet burn and wrote Xbox is buying Valve. Yeah. Who believes anything like that? I verify right away. I'm very like, I've decided only unless it's like something Steam Deck related, maybe a couple of things related, and I see it first party hand, I'm not going to try to get the thing out as fast as possible. But if I see it and I'm one of the first ones to see it, then I might do that. So, as far as everything else goes, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'll have some more updates on everything, all the projects I'm working on next week. I should at least. I should also have more announcements for my game I'm working on. So just busy working away, trying to get more and more videos out, and everything else. What issues were you having, that Cat Smith, for you? Having issues with the Steam Deck? Yeah. That Cat Smith for you, where I kept getting call failed whenever I tried to call. Oh. Yeah, that can happen. Internet or cell phone outages can happen, that Cat Smith, for you. So sometimes cell towers will go down, all that. Maybe you can call someone, but it's not someone else. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens with phones and all that. That's the nice thing about Wi-Fi capability calling. If you have the capability to call through Wi-Fi, that sometimes can fix that. Okay. Yeah, Cat Smith, that is weird. Phones are very weird. Could be a failure on the phone side, just not connecting properly. I've had that same thing happen too. Okay, I'm out. Peace out, guys. Check out Discord over the next week. Let me know what you guys are doing. We'll start doing a monthly. We're gonna start out doing a monthly, just because time wise for me, a monthly gaming event. So we're gonna plan that soon, and keep an eye out for that. So peace out, guys. Later.